I like to have a good relationship with my customers. I create this bond, not just my customers, but my team members, my colleagues, my work colleagues. And for me, caring is really understanding what the person needs, what the person wants, and what is, important for the person. Hey, David, good to be here.
All right. Thanks for dropping by, Diogo. I'm really happy to see you. You're a special case because although you look young, you actually started doing Salesforce when you were, 19 or something like that?
18, yeah.
18, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty early in my career. It was the first job. It was actually an interesting fact because it was the first job I had. And, I did a technical college. And right after starting the university, I looked for a job. It happened to be Salesforce. So I kicked off my career with the university working with Salesforce. So, that's how I started.
Yeah. So instead of passing newspapers or working the cash at a convenience store, you just straight up Salesforce first job.
Yeah.
It makes me think of the for those who know the Asterix and Obelix
right.
European comic book, where the Obelix was dunked in the magic potion when he was young, like you were dunked in the Salesforce potion.
Yeah. It was pretty interesting because I had no idea what was Salesforce, and when you start university, you're kind of looking at a lot of things, lots of technologies. You hear about Java, you hear about PHP, you hear about all those things, and also the business world, right? So when I started listening and hearing people talking about Salesforce, what is Salesforce, what's CRM, and I got introduced to it, completely different from what I was learning in the university. That's what got me into Salesforce, what got me interested.
Right. So of course, we're going to talk a bit about your experience at SOLJIT. First, what was the most surprising thing about the work at SOLJIT, your role doing projects, but also leading a team? So you can cover your whole experience or pick any moment in your experience. So the most surprising thing.
Okay. I think the most interesting thing for me about working at SOLJIT was to see the growth in the evolution of the company. So I joined 2 years ago. And 2 years ago, I would say it was a different SOLJIT. So we had many challenges, many new customers, new people joining. And when I joined, I still wear the hats that I wore when I joined. But today I have a team. Today I lead the team. But when I joined, I got customers. I got opportunities to work on. And I think one of the challenges is to keep doing that. In a how can I say? Leading the team, but also continuing providing quality, providing the support that the customers need, and also passing that experience to my team members, right? Because they need to. I evolved, and they're evolving with me as well. And seeing the customers that we had 2 years ago continuing to grow with us today. As we always say, we would like them to be part of our next 5 years roadmap and to be our partners. That stands until today. So that was interesting. I think another factor was that we as a company, as a whole, we learned so much from each other. If we think about how we do sales, the essence never disappeared. It's still the same essence, but we started structuring so much the way we sell, the way we provide services to customers. And the customers are obviously seeing the value, like how we changed the way we support after a project is delivered, or how we evaluate their needs when we start a project to, map it out and to make sense, because we can just deliver projects that, at the end of the day, it's not going to bring any return. But we really try to understand what's going to be the gain, the value proposition for the customer.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree with you. The change, evolution, that profession is so complex and deep. There's room to evolve with the profession for years and years and years.
Yeah.
So you mentioned. So my question was, what was surprising? You did mention challenges. So my next question was, what was the most challenging? Maybe it's the same thing. Maybe it's something else. So what was the most challenging?
I think, because I'm leading the team. I'm also providing technical solutions because, as I said, I started working with Salesforce very early in my career, and I was always technical. So I jumped an interesting fact about my career is that I always did the business in collaboration with the technical. So for me, the biggest challenge of a business analyst and a technical consultant is to provide the best solution. But it's very relative. What is the best solution for the customer? Is it something that is scalable? Is it something that, you know, fits their needs or fits their budget? And that's for me the biggest challenge. Like, what's the best approach for the moment that the customer is living at, right? So if they need to do something fast, you might have to give up on something else, right? Or if they have to do something really, really big, you're going to have to really think through and build a scalable solution to accommodate what they need.
Again, totally agree with you. There's like three main axes in a project. There's budget, timeline, and features.
Yeah.
And all three cannot be priority number one.
Yeah.
You have to pick. And if you do something on a tight budget and timeline now, well, maybe in 2 years when it's time to scale, you know, you're gonna have to redo some of the work because, you know, what was prioritized was not that exactly. Yeah. So still, regarding your work at SOLJIT with customers, with teammates, what is the most rewarding part of your job?
That's a good question. I believe my job is a multifaceted job, you know, because we're exposed to so many different aspects of the customers and the internal at SOLJIT as well. The internal, how can I say, the team conducting the people. And for me, the most rewarding is to see people evolving and to see the customer getting the value and the benefit of what we implemented, of what we delivered to them. I believe everybody that does a project that chooses to implement Salesforce, they're looking to fix something. They're looking to get a return. And as long as we understand their return, we're good, because we're bringing the value, we're delivering what they need. But if we lose the connection between the value, right, it doesn't make any sense, because at the end of a 2 years project, customer will say, hey, I spent X amount of money, I'm not happy, my team's not using. And then we have many things to discuss about that, like change management, adoption, you know, all those things comes to play. If none of those things are delivered, none of those things are addressed, for me, it doesn't make sense. So I think for me, the most rewarding thing is to see a project that everybody is using, everybody adopted, you know, customers happy, your team members evolved, everybody gained something from it. You know, for us, it's not just closing a deal and, you know, cashing the money. It's about delivering the value and, you know, working with the customer in collaboration.
Yeah. The motto as SOLJIT is "We care, we lead." Those are our internal values.
That's right.
So what does it mean for Diogo? What does it mean for you?
I think for me, that's a good question, because I see that in many ways. I like to have a good relationship with my customers. I create this bond, not just my customers, but my team members, my colleagues, my work colleagues. And for me, caring is really understanding what the person needs, what the person wants, and what is, you know, important for the person. And when we talk to someone, when I talk to my customers, I try to understand and I try to show that I really care. For me, there's no how can I say, there's no bad time for me. I'm always available to listen, to understand what the customer needs, and to, you know, go and help them achieve what they want to achieve.
Why should somebody jump on the occasion to come work with you?
To come work with me? That's a good question too. You know, I don't like micromanaging people. I like giving them what I would like to be given.
You like nano-managing?
No, not at all. I like, what do you call the above level of macro?
Yeah, I don't know, huge?
Yeah, huge. No, it's, you know, I believe I'm a creative person. I consider myself a creative person just because I like to be creative. And, you know, I like my team members to have the same space to be creative and to work as they would like to work, you know. So methodologies, how they operate. We know we have targets, we know we have objectives, so we have to deliver a project. As long as we respect the timelines of the customer, what is being delivered, it's following the best practices. Honestly, I don't really care how they do, as long as they're respecting everything that has to be respected. If they, I don't know, if they like to wake up late, work late as well, I'm not even questioning that. For me, it's more like their MO. They have their modus operandi, and I'm super open to learn with them as well, as I have mine, and I try to pass mine as well to them. And I think for me, that's one factor of why I like to collaborate with my team. Another factor is I really like to work together, to bounce ideas, and I'm never taking decisions alone. So if I have something new to propose to my team, I'm not setting in stone, guys, you're gonna do that. I'm always putting out there, and they share the idea, their feedback. If they don't like it, we're not doing, right? So that's for me the key to have a good relationship with the team, and it's working fine for now, and I would love to continue doing that.
All right, and actually that's the last question. So how do you take your coffee?
Black, no sugar, no milk.
All right,
That's
black,
it.
no sugar, no milk. Diogo, thanks for dropping by, and I'm sure we're gonna talk again soon.
Thank you.